Why is it when you talk about bugging out, it's a last resort for preppers, yet most of us, if not all of us, have a bug out bag? To me, there are a couple of different reasons for this, and the main one being the same reason we get auto insurance, home insurance, life insurance. We hope we never have to use that, but if we do and we are in a situation where that becomes important, we're going to be glad we have it. And the same thing applies to a bug out bag. The second reason is that it's a micro preparedness kit, meaning it encompasses all of the different areas of preparedness. So if you are just starting out and you're trying to learn all of these things, you can do it much more cost effectively by putting together a bug out bag than putting together 3-4 months worth of preparedness supplies. So regardless whether we think we're going to use it or not, and we hope we won't, it is something, one of those essential prepping supplies and one of those essential prepping kits that we do need to put together. So in this video, I want to talk about the top 10 supplies that you'll need in your bug out bag. And these top 10 supplies are pretty universal, meaning they're going to be in every person's bug out bag. After you take care of these supplies, that's where you start to personalize and you start to think about things like your environment and where you plan on going, what is in between the area that you are and the area that you may possibly go, and what sort of resources and the weather and all sorts of different things that factor into that as you begin to customize your bag. But these are the main components that everyone should have. All right, so let's start with the first one here, and this is water and hydration tools. Water is the most important aspect of survival, preparedness, and just everyday life. We can only survive a few days without water, so this makes it a really critical survival item. Now, as far as a bug out bag goes, you're probably not going to be able to carry or going to want to carry 3 days worth of water, which would be around 3 gallons of water. That would be pretty heavy. So you're also going to need other supplies to help you clean water and also have the ability to find water and think about those where that would be during your route. You've got water bottles, you've got hydration bladders, a few different things that will allow you to accomplish this. Along with that, you'll need a small portable water filter and even some water purification tablets. The micro pures from Cordage are fantastic. You've also got the Aquamira tablets. While water may be the heaviest item that you do put in your bug out bag, it really is the most important. And just because we can go 3 days without water doesn't mean we want to. Water is going to give you the energy to get things done. If you've ever gone on a hiking trip or a long walk, you know that it's only a couple hours until you really start to get really thirsty. So having that water may not be necessary to survive on day one, but it is something that you're absolutely going to want to have. Now, moving on to the next one here, we have food. And while food isn't necessarily critical when you're talking about 3 days or 2 days, but it is something that is going to help us, just like water is going to help us along our journey. We need the energy, the stamina, we just need the will to keep moving. You've got the ration bars, which are packed with calories. They don't weigh very much, and you can pack them into a small space. You've got trail mixes, a lot of different things. You've got the MREs, the mountain house type meals that you could put in there. Just think about these types of foods that don't weigh a whole lot, that offer a lot of calories, and something that you can snack on the move, something that maybe doesn't necessarily need to be cooked. Although if you are looking at a situation where you do need to camp overnight, maybe one of those mountain house meals where you boil water would be good to have. So food is one of the important ones. It's not necessarily one where if you run out, all is lost, but it is something that is going to help you maintain your stamina in a situation where you are trying to get from point A to point B, and you are trying to do it as quickly as possible. All right, number 3 here, I have shelter and protection from the elements. And you'll notice that the first 3 I have here are food, water, and shelter. And that is because these are the 3 main things we need to consider regardless which survival situation we are talking about. And with a bug out bag, you're talking about 72 hours. So you're talking maybe spending 1 or possibly 2 nights out under the stars. And the type of shelter also depends on the time of year and your environment. Shelter also isn't just a tent or a tarp, something to cover you, a sleeping bag. Shelter can also be what you put on your body. Your clothes are also shelter. So socks, pants, coats, rain gear, all of that is shelter. Anything that will shelter you from the elements and keep you warm, we need to think about. In the context of a bug out bag, you're talking about tarps, you're talking about maybe bed rolls, wool socks, you're dressing in layers, maybe a small tent or even a hammock to keep you off the ground. There are a lot of different options, and it's really up to you what you decide to put in your bag. So number 4 here, I have a first aid kit and first aid supplies. And just like your automobile, if you get a hole in your tire and you can't patch that up, you're not going anywhere. The same thing applies in a survival situation. If you have a sprained ankle, even if it's just cuts or scratches, you're going to need a way to treat those wounds before they become bigger issues. When it comes to supplies in your bug out bag, we're talking about a pretty small kit here, not something like you would have at home that is for wound care and treating something over the course of a few weeks. We are talking about having the basic supplies that you'll need to dress a wound until you get to the point where you can address that situation further. So the Band-Aids, the gauze pads, the splints, the steri strips, the tapes, all of the different supplies that we can think of need to be included in a bug out bag first aid kit. And it's also a good idea to have some trauma supplies in your kit, whether you're talking about chest seals, tourniquets, or quick clot. But make sure first aid supplies are included in your bug out bag. And at number 5 here, I have fire starting tools. And fire starting tools are important because they sort of go in conjunction with everything else I've talked about already. The first aid, the keeping warm, protection from the elements, and cleaning drinking water. So fire starting tools are not only important to be able to cook your meal, to start, keep yourself warm. Having a fire could be important for a lot of different reasons. Fire starting tools should start with a Bic lighter, the easiest option possible. Yes, we all like to watch these videos about different fire starting supplies and how to, do a friction fire, things like that. But the easiest and quickest way possible is going to be your best bet in a situation like this. So make sure you do have that ferro rod, the flint and steel, maybe some fire starting materials to make your job easier. But make sure you have a Bic lighter or 2 in your bag as well. They're super lightweight, and it's just going to be much easier than the other options. Next here on my list, I have Cordage, and this is one of those supplies you just never know when it's going to become important. Now, Cordage could be the prepper favorite paracord, the 550 paracord, or it could be wax jute twine, whatever works best for you. Cordage is just one of those things that should be included in your bug out bag because it's a supply that you're going to be glad when you have it. I carry about 100 feet of one continual length of paracord in my bug out bag. You can also put paracord in your shoelaces. They've got the bracelets and lanyards, a lot of different techniques where you can include cordage in your bug out bag that isn't necessarily just one roll. So cordage is one of those things. There are a bunch of different options as far as where you can do it. It doesn't necessarily need to be in your bag, but having that on you and having the ability to use that is going to be important in a number of different situations. So I think cordage is important to put in your bug out bag. Number 7 I have here is a metal container. And while most people include this in their bug out bag, not everyone does. But having a metal container will give you the option to cook something if you need to. It will give you the option to boil water if you are in a situation where you didn't bring enough with you or you didn't want to bring that much with you and you find some water, you'll be able to purify that water. And it's something you can carry water in the first place. So if you are carrying a liter or two of water, you may as well have it either in a hydration bladder or a metal container, and possibly even both. Putting a couple plastic water bottles in your bug out bag is going to be okay, but if a situation does arise where you need to boil water or you need to cook some food, that plastic water bottle is going to do you no good. Okay, so moving on to number 8 here, I have a knife or multi-tool. And honestly, I'd probably say a knife and a multi-tool. A knife is one of those survival tools that are just important in so many different situations, whether you're talking about self-defense, whether you're talking about hunting or trapping, or building something, putting together a shelter. A knife is going to be one of those essential supplies that you need to have with you. A multi-tool is great because it gives you a few different options, as far as most of them have small pairs of scissors, screwdrivers, the hex heads, and all if you need to sew things together, a small file, and a knife included in them. So multi-tools are those sort of, I think of them as better than nothing tools. It's not going to beat a 6-inch fixed blade knife, but it is going to have a knife on it. It is not going to be EMT shears, the scissors, but it is going to have scissors on them. So it's a better than nothing type item to have in your bug out bag. And just like a lot of these other ones, it is multi-purpose. And while I think a multi-tool is important, it shouldn't replace the knife. So either have the knife or have both of them, but don't forego the knife for a multi-tool, because a quality survival knife is going to be more durable than a multi-tool that folds up and has a bunch of different points of failure. On to the next here, and this is a flashlight or headlamp, and sort of like the knife and multi-tool, a flashlight and headlamp is probably the way to go here. There are a lot of different options when it comes to the size and weight of a flashlight, so that's really up to you as you put your bag together and you weigh it. This could be one area where you could decrease the weight by getting a smaller flashlight that may not be as bright, but it's going to be as bright as you need it. A flashlight, just being able to see at night, to whether you are putting together shelter, whether you are collecting firewood, whatever you're doing, having light at night, being able to see is going to be crucial in any sort of survival situation. So having a flashlight is one of those most important prepping supplies. A headlamp is great because it offers more functionality, meaning you can put it on your head and you can use both hands to get things done. So flashlights make it on my top 10 for bug out bag items, as well as just in preparedness in general. Whatever the disaster or emergency situation is, when that sun goes down, we're going to need to be able to see in order to get things done. So flashlights and headlamps are very important. So coming in at number 10 here, and this doesn't mean that it is the least most important, but this is quality footwear. And this may not be something that you keep inside your bug out bag. Maybe it's something that you hang on the outside of the bug out bag, or maybe it's something you keep in your vehicle in anticipation of being in a bug out situation. But quality footwear could end up being the most important item on this list. I mentioned car tires earlier, and basically these are your tires. So if you get a flat tire, you are not going anywhere. So taking care of your feet with the first aid kit, that also includes putting moleskin in there, but having good quality footwear and keeping your feet healthy and ready to go is important, just like making sure you get a car tune-up and you change the oil in your car and you make sure you've got tread on the tires. That's the same type of thing. Make sure your feet are taken care of because they are going to be doing most of the work. And when it comes to quality footwear, you're thinking about the comfort, but you're also thinking about maybe having it waterproof, shoes that are going to be durable and withstand the 72 hours that you might be out on the road, the different environments that you might be in. So make sure you put a good investment into some quality shoes. The hiking boots at Walmart may look nice, but I guarantee you after a few miles, you're going to realize how cheap these Walmart hiking boots are. So don't go cheap when you're talking about the shoes on your feet. All All right, so that's my list of the 10 supplies I think are the most important in a bug out bag. And like I said in the beginning, you take care of the fundamentals first, and then you start to expand and individualize your bug out bag depending on your needs, your environment, and what situations you feel like you might need to use that in. I also want to mention a couple of things that aren't necessarily supplies, but they're really important to consider when you're putting together a bug out bag. And the first one is to make sure you're practicing with your bug out bag. Make sure as you put this together, you've measured the weight, and if you're at around 30 pounds, which is the average for a bug out bag, go out and walk with that for a couple miles and see how you feel. Do that on a regular basis and you'll get better and better with it. And if you do need to carry a few more pounds, you're going to be able to do that because you've built up the stamina to do so. Also, make it a habit of taking your bag everywhere, even if it just sits in the back seat of your car or truck. Get in that habit. Having a well-stocked bug out bag that is going to get you through any disaster or emergency situation that you can think of for a couple of days, having that tucked away in the basement or a closet isn't going to do any good if you are somewhere else when that disaster strikes. So make sure it is something that you take with you on a regular basis. Like I said, even if it just sits in the back seat waiting for that situation where you need to strap it on and get out of Dodge. I've got this video that goes through everything that I keep in my bug out bag. And this video is a couple of years old. I'm going to have to do a new one, but it gives you a good idea about some of the things that I keep, and it might give you some ideas about some of the things that you might want to keep in your bug out bag. If you're interested in that, make sure and check out that video. If you like this video, make sure and like and subscribe. Until next time, everyone, take care and prepare. We will talk to you all later.